All right, let's do it live on a Thursday edition of the program. I am merely Beau. He is the great Z. Nice, dry, bluebird day. Dry all this out. Everything you'd want.
No. Not pleased with it. My buddy keeps sending my buddies down in Clearwater right now and keeps sending me pictures of just
how's it going
skies, there? 80 degrees.
Yeah.
Pure sun. He's quite pleased. Look at Tan Gibbe's back here.
Chesty Gibbe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was out yesterday in part because I didn't think I could even face him.
Smart.
As excited as he was about how his days were versus how ours were. We had grapple. Gibbe. We had grapple.
We've had all the grapple you could want.
The pool for 3 hours
before
I boarded a flight.
It's Grapple-a-palooza.
Oh my gosh. It's a marvel. I feel like this happens every time around this time every year. I couldn't hate it anymore. I am always curious where the water's all going. I just don't understand where it can go, how it can rain for what I feel. I mean, if this were biblical times, I'd build an ark, float away. That's where we're at.
I'd come with you.
I'd let you. Two by two. You and Gibby, first two in.
First two.
I'll open the bar.
Bootsy first, and then.
I was gonna say.
Boy, he had a big moment for me yesterday. This always happens in the spring. We have it happens all the time this time of year. Geese try moving into the neighborhood. So I've chronicled the tales of, and there's video proof of it too.
A house dog comes in very handy, by the way.
I got to get the house fence, and then I'll get the house dog.
Okay.
So that's all in the process. So in the meantime, we usually get like the Costco 100 water balloons. And I throw them in their direction, and that scares them, and they fly away.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, sure. That's fun for the kids. Yesterday, though, I was in my office, and I look out of the corner of my eye, and I see Bootsy just sprinting down the driveway, and he's going like this. And I look over, and he's going right at the geese.
Hurting.
He's running right at him.
Yeah.
And I was like, little buddy, like he wanted to make sure that I saw what his efforts. He was screaming at the top of his lungs, sprinting right at the geese, and wanted me to see his efforts. And then I did see his efforts, and I went one of these, and he scared him away. I was worried, though, because they will turn on you. Like if the eggs had been, they'll do that, and they'll hiss. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want him to have that.
You don't want him to get nipped.
Yeah, right. He's making a run at all the inheritance is what he's doing.
He's doing
he had a rough weekend, and now he's getting back in the form. Yeah, getting back in the form.
Rough weekend.
Not doing great with following directions, rules,
pushing
the envelopes.
That sounds like that's on you.
Of convention.
Bootsy is not to be constrained.
That's his belief as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a long discussion. He and I had a real chat about situations, and
I'm sure that he responded that exactly how you wanted it.
He did. He's a big. He is on a conflict point. He is quick to get a teary eye.
Oh, yeah.
To go down that road, and a big hug is I'm sorry. Like almost wants to interrupt the interrogation with a hug and sorry.
Look, I know I've done wrong. Let's stop.
It's enough.
It's enough.
I'm sorry, Dad. I love you, Dad.
I love you.
And then he always tries to kiss me on the forehead. It's amazing. That's his move.
He's like, give me
right here. Little taste of this. So there you go. What did I miss yesterday? Anything happened?
Yeah, a lot of stuff. We had Stefanski at the podium. We had Amari Cooper at the podium, which we are playing today.
Nice.
If I'm not mistaken, at 1:30.
Correct.
We had Denzel Ward at the podium, but we're also going to give you today at 2 o'clock an exclusive one-on-one with Denzel Ward after signing his big contract that makes him the highest-paid cornerback in NFL history. That's at 2 o'clock coming your way. So we heard from Coach. Tomorrow we're going to get to hear from Andrew Berry as well. Jacoby Brissett joined the program live, and I got to tell you, I really enjoyed my conversation with Jacoby Brissett. I found him to be incredibly thoughtful, engaging, and just a great asset to our team. He was Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Colts in 2020. Yeah. We talked quite a bit about that and what that means to him personally and also within the locker room. And I just felt like just such another just quality human being added to this roster, and somebody that I think is just going to be valuable, whether we need him or not. I think his presence here will be a net positive for the Cleveland Browns. So I'd urge people to seek that out. We also had Dane Brugler on yesterday. So it was a pretty.
Where are you with the draft? That's me. Yeah. And I think
I'll tell you, I'm a lot more excited for AIW tomorrow night at the Odeon, baby. That's right.
Ooh, at the
Eyes
Odeon?
of the Beast at the Odeon.
I don't know what that is.
Come on out.
None of that means anything to me.
So it's reopened.
What's the Odeon and what's AEW's the wrestling?
AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling.
Is that the one that the con guys own?
No, that is AEW. AIW is Cleveland's local one, the one that your boy does a little,
Oh, you're an investor. You're the Vince McMahon of that franchise.
I am not. I sometimes will share my thoughts.
You're
over
the
the
Khan
microphone.
family
No,
of that?
No, I'm not.
So you're telling me tonight, if I go to wherever this is.
Tomorrow night,
if I go to wherever this is, you'll be there.
Yes.
On a mic?
Yeah.
How am I just now becoming aware of this?
We've talked about this 100 times.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I remember us talking off air about how you were going to do this. This was a month or so ago.
Yeah, and
I didn't know that
was
this
at
was
the Tadmore Shrine.
I didn't know that we were running it back.
Oh yeah, this is.
I thought it was a one-time thing.
They do once a month. They do a big show once a month. They do a smaller show in the interim, but they do a big show once a month.
Now, who's the headliner of this other than you?
Matt Cardona.
That's
my buddy Broski.
Broski's running that.
He's the champ.
Right. I wasn't aware of the.
He's got 7 belts right now. He's the belt collector, the deathmatch king. He's coming.
And that's on Friday.
Friday night, the Odeon main event. Matt Cardona, Josh Prohibition.
Are you Mean Gene?
Him. No, I'm like Jesse the Body Ventura on commentary.
Oh my God, who's Mean Gene?
Mean Gene, and this I don't know if there is a backstage interviewer to say there's a Mean Gene. There's a Howard Finkel.
So who's the Vince McMahon, like from the old Saturday Night's main events when it was Vince and Jesse?
Wadsworth is the
play-by-play,
yeah.
And then you're peppering in.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I go back and
now, do they play that over the loudspeakers in the facility?
No, but it's on pay-per-view, independentwrestling.tv, so you could watch it there and hear the commentary. It's on live tomorrow night. You can't set your DVR. It's on independent. You can get the app though. There's an app that you can put right on your TV.
An app, and then I can DVR it up, and away we go.
Yeah,
I think you can DVR anything. I DVR Building the Browns every week.
That's great.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah. So we have
the
Odeon
Browns Live. I was able to do.
Odeon, an incredible
I was able to
venue.
DVR that.
An incredible venue.
Where is it?
So it's right downtown. On which bank of the Flats is that, Gibbe?
That's the East Bank.
East Bank of the Flats.
It's a great,
right where Collision Bend is.
Amazing concerts in that venue.
Yeah.
When I worked at Q104 when I first broke into business, that's where we did all our house shows.
Okay.
Second Chance Prom, Boo Bash, all that stuff.
That was all down in the mix.
It holds about 1,000 people. It's all GA.
And it's dark. And it's intense. It's awesome. It's a great venue for.
It's a great name for a venue.
I've had some amazing nights there that turned into mornings and then so forth.
Wasn't that the maker of Sex Panther for Brian Fantana? Odeon? Sex Panther by Odeon?
It might be. 60% of the time it works
I
every
think
time.
it might be.
I think it could be, yeah. So the big attraction, by the way, and I know that you're a big wrestling historian, Minoru Suzuki, who is a Japanese legend, considered one of the best brawlers in all of wrestling, who's 53, is going to come over and he's going to fight Broner, who is a monster, and it is going to be a physical clash.
It is Sex Panther by Odeon.
By Odeon, yeah. So there it is.
There it is. Comes full circle.
Well, I'll tell you what, 60% of the time, AIW delivers every time.
Good job out of you getting that in there. Even before we got a chance to talk about Debo Samuel.
Debo.
I'm out. I want out.
We're entering a new era.
Give me the exchanges with Pedro on this topic.
So far, I've asked him his thoughts on it. I've yet to get a response. I feel like he's giving it the silent treatment. He doesn't want to acknowledge it. Apparently, the Niners aren't keen on trading him either, and the initial offerings for people who have called are so absurd that it's not going to happen. They're wanting like a quarterback haul for him. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's amazing. I'm more and more convinced as every day goes by, though, that one of Kyler or Lamar are not going to be playing for their current teams.
I don't know if we had this. You saw the comments from Patrick Peterson on Kyler.
Patrick Peterson and who else? There was another
running back,
Chase Edmonds, who just signed with Miami.
Yeah,
also said
he's
the
not
same
for
thing.
it. He's not for it. He's not about it.
The only thing I would
let me ask you a question.
Please.
How can you not be for living in Scottsdale, playing in a dome, having a team?
It's that ownership group. They're the way they go about their business. I don't know if it's fair or not, if it's reputation or whatever. There's just no trust with people there. I mean, they just must not do. I don't know. I hate even saying it out loud because it's not like I have any firsthand information about this. Larry Fitzgerald loved his life there for a very long time.
Loved it. Pat Pete played.
Right.
He was there as long as he was still Pat Pete.
There's clearly something going on there that leads him to believe that he can't win there, and that's what this is about. I don't imagine it's about the money. I think you're going to come up with the money, unless maybe the Bidwell family's like, look, we aren't going to give you $400 million guaranteed. We're not giving you $300 million guaranteed. We're not giving you $250 million guaranteed. We're not willing to do that. And then that creates the ill will, and then that forces the hand. I don't know. It's strange, though, because it ought to be – it's really interesting because if you think about the two markets, and I would say that's number one, but I would say Miami's a number two market of they really should be destinations for players to want to go play, and neither have been that over the course of the time in the league. I mean, neither
wild.
one has been a place where people's like, I want to go play there. It's pretty wild. And it's got to just be
you
the
can
organizational
live
structure.
In a place called Paradise Valley.
You can, yeah.
And it's not a misnomer.
Tax situation
it is
there.
perfectly
Friendly, right.
I don't know that there's a state tax in Arizona. There definitely is in
a
Florida.
state tax, yes.
Okay.
I think Florida and Texas are the two.
I think Tennessee's that way too.
Tennessee as well.
Yeah.
Definitely from the big draw states.
Right,
those two.
right, yeah. Montana did not. No, Montana didn't have a sales tax. That was the deal on that.
How great was that?
Yeah, it was nice. What a price was is what it was.
That's right.
99 cents was 99 cents.
The only argument I would make, like for the Peterson the Peterson comments and the other guy,
Chase Edmonds.
They did go out and get J.J. Watt. They did go out and get
brought Chandler
Hopkins. They went out
Jones
and
in.
got players.
I think it's just a track record of just no belief. It's got to be. I mean, what else could it be?
Well, I mean, the coach isn't good.
Does he have belief?
Yeah, but the coach is his guy. I mean, that's his guy.
I don't know if he is anymore.
I mean, he's the reason he's there. If they don't hire Kingsbury, he's not there. Anybody else would have tried to keep Rosen for a second year. I agree with you, though. I think he's the most likely, but I think it would take it. I mean, that's why what Miami's doing makes sense in terms of, hey, come here. What can we do? You want some ones? Here's a bunch of ones. Here's Tua. We don't need him in the AFC, obviously, but you get
Let
the point.
the Eagles do it.
Yeah, they're the other one.
And they're a quarterback-aggressive franchise.
Yeah.
I think they operate very wisely in their quest to find that guy.
The other ones in the NFC that would be in that spot, though, like you think about football team and even Giants, like there's ownership flux in both of those. You know, it's not great with Washington or New York anymore in ownership, and the Washington thing's a mess.
You could see him saying – the thing about it is they're saying that he's not going to play this year out on his current deal. That's what kind of the talk has been.
Yeah.
That they've withdrawn their own offer. The Kyler side of it's withdrawn whatever offer they've made to the Cardinals, which was in response to what they felt was an insulting offer from the Cardinals. Tampa would be a good fit, but that's a year away.
Yes.
But that's not
No.
feasible currently. But man, it is an amazing thing that all of a sudden in the NFL you went from this stuff never happening.
Never.
And now it could happen. I mean, to say in one offseason, if somebody said to you, okay, you have a quarterback who's dealing with serious things off of the field, but who is 26 and in the prime of his career and widely considered to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. You have the best overall receiver in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You have the guy that you could make the case is also the best receiver in the NFL because he's the biggest vertical big play threat in the league.
Most unique weapon in the NFL.
Absolutely. And then now the most unique weapon. But to say just that those 3 people were traded in one offseason, that Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, and Deshaun Watson were all traded in the same offseason is absolutely bonkers.
You forgot Russ.
Oh, and Russ. But Russ is a little different. Like you could see, like Russ is.
No, you couldn't. At 31, those guys don't move.
True.
Not historically, not without injury. Usually coming off of injury. That's it. I mean,
he's
those
only
guys.
31.
Yeah, he's 31, 32. Those guys
Yeah.
don't move at that time.
No, you're right. Yeah, so 2 of them.
You know, like that stuff never happened. He might be 33. I don't know. Somewhere in that mix. Early 30s, still in his prime, still a lot to go. That's the thing, though. Like, this has never happened. The Kyler thing would be even more shocking.
33, turning 34 later this year, November the 29th. So 33 and a half.
33 and a half.
Yeah.
Still, though. Could
Young,
play 5, 6 more
absolutely.
years. Yeah.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played till he's 40.
Yeah, played till he's 40. It's
No doubt.
It's a strange time in the league, and I think the guaranteed money is just going to make it trickier going forward because you reset the market here with Deshaun, and there will be others that will want to match that. I'm sure Kyler wants that. I'm sure he wants 235 in the guarantee.
Of course he does.
Of course he does. Herbert's going to want that. You know, is Burrow going to want that? Like, all of those things are going to be part of it.
And Kyler is very good, but are we sure he's that good to demand?
I'm sure that's the questions they're having. I think he thinks he is.
2-time Pro Bowler.
Don't you think?
Clearly. 2-time Pro Bowler, 67% completions. 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, averages 7.3 yards per attempt. Last year was a career high 7.9 yards per attempt.
I mean, he's really, really good.
Yeah, plus he runs.
He's been hurt, though, sometimes, and he's faded. As the season goes along, he's faded. So that's the tricky
played
thing.
One playoff game, right?
Yeah.
Which was this year, and they were trounced, if I recall.
They were, yeah. And I think you'll see, I think some of that's going to happen at receiver, right, where you're going to have – the crazy thing about Debo, to bring it back to him, is I feel like his circumstance in San Francisco is not duplicable. Like, that's the one place where they would use all of it.
Well, what he's saying is he doesn't want that.
He didn't want all that?
No, that's the crux of this. I don't want this.
Okay, but he isn't worth that unless he does that.
I want to be a pure receiver.
Yeah, I don't know that he's an elite pure receiver. He's an elite weapon.
He is a darn good regular receiver. Tops in yak. I think he could be a top 5 receiver in the league as a receiver. If he went to, for example, let's say he goes to Green Bay or he goes to a passing attack.
Whereas if you take the running game out of it right now.
So last year, just to put it in perspective for you last year, because I think this is interesting, and I don't think a lot of people realize this because we've talked so much about what he did as a runner. Last year, he had 77 catches for 1,405 yards and 6 touchdowns. Okay? Mm-hmm. 1,405 yards, 6 touchdowns, average 18 yards per catch. This is last year. But here's what's crazy about that. Here's what's crazy is that in the beginning of the season, when he was actually being used, because remember, at the beginning of the year, he was actually just being a wide receiver. So here are his games the beginning of the year before they made the switch, and you'll know exactly when they made the switch. Okay, and you tell me if you think that if this changed your opinion at all. Week 1, 12 targets, 9 catches, 189 yards, and a touchdown. Week 2, 8 targets, 6 for 93. Week 3, 10 targets, 5 for 52. Week 4, 13 targets, 8 catches, 156, and 2 touchdowns. Week 6, 9 targets, only 3 catches, 58 yards. Week 7, 11 targets, 7 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. Week 8, 9 targets, 6 catches, 171. 9 targets, 5 catches, 63. Then he changes into the difference. Remember, he had 1,400 yards receiving.
That's a lot. Yeah, I wouldn't have had it that high. I'll acknowledge that.
The majority of that comes at the beginning of the year. Then they change to this hybrid. So you're talking a 189 game, a 93, a 156, a 100, a 171, and a 97 game. So that's 6 of them 90 or above with 4 games over 100 yards. Then the target stop. 2 targets, 1 catch, 15 yards. 4 targets, 1 catch, 12 yards. 1 target, 1 catch, 22 yards. 5 targets, 4 catches, 60. Then they go against Tennessee. They bump it up again. 11 targets, back over that 9 threshold. 9 catches, 159. 6 targets, 363, and a touchdown. 6 targets, 4 for 95. So the beginning of the year, he had 8 targets in each of the first 8 games at a minimum. He had more than 8 targets in all of them but one. He had double-digit targets 5 times. In his double-digit target games, 9 for 189, a touchdown, 5 for 52, 8 for 156 and 2, 7 for 100 and a touchdown, 9 for 159.
I did not have him having that. I did not have him have that type of receiving success early in the season.
Yeah, it was basically they just, and it coincides exactly with the game where it changed, where it went from 9 targets to 5 targets, was the first game where he started to get carries. Like, I don't even know if people
He's worth more as a receiver, obviously, as a running back, too. Clearly, you're paying those guys more, and he does a longer career, so it makes sense for you to want to do that. I did not have it at that type.
The first 8 games, he had a grand total of 6 carries, and he's getting 9 targets a game, 10 targets a game. The last 8 games, 5 carries, 8 carries, 6 carries, 8 carries, 6 carries, 5 carries, 7 carries, 8 carries. So they basically just shifted what they had to do. It made their offense more effective, but there's no doubt the guy can play receiver if you feature him. Which
I would not. If we did guess the stats, I would not have had that he had 1,400 yards receiving last year. I would not have had that. Pretty remarkable.
I think he was second in the league. I think Cooper Kupp was the only one with more.
I think Chase had more, didn't he?
Chase may have had more, too. He led the league at 18.2 yards a catch. But he stopped being a receiver. I need to be able to throw this quickly into it here. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll tell you what he had. What his pace was after 8, because I think his pace after 8 was
quite extraordinary.
Yes.
It's a CBD mailbag day. Tweet us your questions to @Browns_daily. Use the hashtag AskCBD. We'll get to as many as we can in the 2:30 hour of the program. We'll hear from John Johnson, who was on RBS yesterday. We'll have that for you coming up. We'll also play Amari Cooper and his availability yesterday, and a very special exclusive one-on-one between Z and Denzel Ward that is coming up a little bit later as well. Bill Barnwell's mock draft, as I mentioned, it is a mailbag edition of the program as well here on a rainy Thursday in Northeast Ohio. You have it?
Yeah, so in the first 8 games, which is before he was changed into more of this hybrid, he had 15, 20, 28, 31, 38, 49 catches for 882 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns. So he was on pace for 1764 and 10 touchdowns basically just as a receiver.
They were 4-4 in those games and got housed a couple of times. Indy housed them. Arizona housed them.
Yep.
They lost to Seattle and Green Bay as well in shootouts. So that was their record during those 4 games before they made the switch. Then after they made the switch, they went 6-2.
Yeah.
They're better with him doing the other stuff.
They are. But he could be just fine in a situation where they need him. Just go play receiver.
Theoretically, he would be just fine
on
in that
pace
situation.
to lead the league in receiving.
Stats would prove that he would be able to do that. Interesting. Very interesting. You wonder how – I mean, it's also is it a situation – and I don't know. I don't watch the 49ers every week. You wonder if some of it was – are they chasing games – when they're going 4-4, where they're throwing it every down, trying to. I don't have an.
It's
who
just
knows?
That's how they were getting the ball in his
accumulation
hands.
of it. Yeah,
and I think what he would say is the type of tackles you take as a running back versus the kind of tackles you take as a receiver are completely different in most cases.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, John Johnson on RBS. We'll have some of those cuts for you coming up next. Fun little program in a Thursday edition. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Certainly a lot of bad advice out there about gambling, from secret methods to picking lottery numbers to betting big when you're on a roll. The miss can lose you money and get you in a lot of trouble as well. So before you wager, find out what is real and what is not at keepitfunohio.com. John Johnson was on RBS yesterday. Here are his early impressions with the fellas on Deshaun Watson.
He's a player. I mean, he's like a great teammate. And I think that's the first thing that jumped off to me. Obviously, I haven't been around him that much, but, he wanted to introduce himself. He wanted to, make himself comfortable around the guys. He's planning stuff for us, just being a quarterback, being a true leader. So I think that's the first thing that jumps off. But, I looked at, a little bit of his clips, just from, his playing days in Houston, and
Sure.
He's like unbelievable. He has all the things that you want in the quarterback, tools you want in the quarterback. So I'm just looking forward to, him getting out there, competing at practice, and just, making each other better.
When will we see, like, you and I and Gibbe and the others around here be able to see them, like, throw it around? Is that like late May?
Last week of May, I think, is the first week of OTAs.
And that'll be the first time that they'll be able
that
to
media
spin
availability.
it a little
Yep.
bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun.
It will be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
I look forward to that.
I think a lot of people do.
Have you put him into Madden yet?
I have not. I wonder if he's on the roster update, if he's now on the Browns, just like
Do they do
naturally.
that with Madden?
Yeah, they update the rosters all the time.
Even now, though? Like, do they?
Yeah.
They do?
Because the game's still
Because I think they stop it at some point, don't they?
No, they're still trying to get people to.
But our roster
plug
isn't
money in there.
complete. Like, so you're saying, like, if I went and started a game right now, like, we'd have Amari Cooper and we'd have Deshaun?
I think so. I don't know because I don't play that mode. I do Ultimate Team.
I know you do Ultimate Team. I thought I remember Shook or somebody telling me, and I'm naive to all of this, but that there's a certain point they stop updating it, and you have to, like, download it from other sources.
I mean, you could make whatever moves you want to, but I'm pretty sure they update it because you still get roster updates all the time.
I think I'm going to have 1,000 Twitter responses to this in about 6.5 seconds.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of people going, oh, dumb.
No, you might be right.
Oh my God, Zach asks he needs a Fortnite conversation updating.
Yeah, I'm curious about it too. I got a nice Vic the other day. I was really pleased with myself.
There he goes. What are the words you told me to say? Where are you? This is your last drop.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was
like how many people are left?
How many people are left? But there was something about was something.
It could be like which storms, like which storm cloud are you in? Like which phase is it?
So he takes great pride in me knowing nothing about it,
of
course. And so when I said, I go down, I go, this is your last drop. I mean, if it was a quintuple take.
Where'd you pick that up, Dan?
Not pleased at all.
Yeah.
And I would say, well, how many are left in you told me something about, I actually wrote it down somewhere.
Yeah, you did write it down.
Wrote it down.
How many people are left?
Squad.
Yeah.
So he's doing the squad thing. How many people are left?
Yeah.
How many people are left? So I hit him with that. This is your last drop. I even wrote down, like, okay, so within 30 minutes of dinner, those type of things.
Yeah.
So I did it to him, and he, like, quadruple take, like, legitimately shook by the fact that now I figured out this operation that he was trying to get, to the point where the next he's on his head thing, and I said, Paige, this is your last drop, dude. Last drop. And he goes, Dad, can you not say drop? Can you please not say drop?
You're too cool. It's too cool. Yeah. You're embarrassing me.
I'm embarrassing him.
Yeah, you're speaking in the lingo. That's his word.
It was amazing. Yeah, he did not like the idea of me. It was really a good victory.
If he next time, all right, if you happen to be down there and you watch him get like eliminated.
So I've been there when then people are building things around him. It looks like walls are closing in on him, and I'm like, I don't feel like this is going to end well. For you.
Yeah.
And then is that the end? Is the end near on that front?
Depends. I mean, he can build himself out of it, or he can edit himself out of it, or if he has,
I don't know.
So a good player, if like some guy's building all up over on, be like, oh man, that guy's a sweat. Sweats are good, so you want to be a sweat. And if he gets killed, be like, Paige, dude, you're dog water. What's the deal? Dog water apparently is the.
He's a big dog water guy.
Dog water's a huge bird.
He's quick to drop a dog water on people, on his brothers. He did that in basketball. This guy's playing like dog water.
Yeah, you're dog water.
Yeah, that's his big move.
By the way, huge burn in the
dog water is a big burn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it truly, what does that mean? It's like the water that dogs drink, like, and then they slobber in it. Your dog water. Like,
really?
I mean, we came way harder. We came way harder than that in my day. Let me tell you something.
Maybe that's how you know the game is relatively tame. If that's the biggest burn is dog water.
It applies to they use it. It's not just limited to Fortnite. It's not even just a Fortnite
thing. All right,
thing.
I'm going to drop dog water.
Dog water and then a sweat. Be like, oh
Yeah,
man,
this guy's a sweat
this guy's a sweat.
in dog water.
And tell if he's not or you can call him. You know what? Call him if he gets like got in front of you. Call him. Be like, dude, you're such a bot.
Such a bot.
Yeah, you don't want to be a bot.
So I'm going to do all of this and sit next to him as he plays and just annoy the hell out of him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I love that.
Or you can ask who on your team.
There was some other burn that didn't seem like that severe of a burn that he was trying to work on his brothers. That had to be from that game.
Was it bot?
No, it was something other than dog water. I've heard dog water a lot in the last month. But
Dog water.
There was
love
another one that he was
I don't
really
even get
into.
it.
I don't know. Really?
Your dog water.
I like Bozo better.
Bozo's great.
I think Bozo's. But
You're a
Bozo.
bum. You're trash.
You dope. There's a lot of good ones that are better than dog water.
Yeah.
All right. Here is John Johnson III on RBS. The fellows asked him what the team needs to improve most upon from last season.
I think the biggest thing is just how good we can be. Like, we had flashes of dominance, offense and defense, and special teams. Just as a team, we had games where we just completely dominated the game. So I think just having consistency, I think that's what the biggest takeaway from last year is. We can't ride that emotional or whatever wave, that roller coaster ride. We just got to be the same team every week, go out there and dominate. And, like I said, those flashes of greatness, we got to find a way to be consistent with it. So I think that's the biggest thing from last year.
Consistency. He's not wrong about it, and I think that's something that when I talked with Jacoby Brissett yesterday about, he said, what is that special thing that you have to be? He won a Super Bowl his first year in the league with New England Patriots, and he said there's nothing special. You got to be consistent. You got to do your job. You got to execute, and everybody's got to be rowing in the same direction. When you do that, special things can be accomplished.
Outside at quarterback, where could be a wide gap in talent, usually the gap between the greats and the goods is pretty small.
Yep.
In terms of the overall roster, but it really is the rowing part that you got to have. Like, you got to have the common good thing, and the teams that win it have it. It's pretty much that simple. All right, this is from Gibby wants to know. We know what the Browns roster looks like as of right now because we did that the last couple of days on Monday and Tuesday. 1 week from today begins the NFL draft. Rank the 10 positions of need this team should address next weekend. 10 positions? You want me to do 10? I'll give you 3.
Why don't you go? Well, we already know the 3.
You want me to go like in the weeds?
How about you go top 5?
Number 10, quarterback.
That's what I have, number 10.
You're safe.
All right. I like that as number 10.
Number 9, corner.
That's what I have as 9 as well.
I like when you confirm because you're the encyclopedia on this. It means I'm in the right thinking. Number 8, safety.
I had safety up at 6.
Okay.
I'd safety up at 6. I've got linebacker at 8.
Yeah.
You got Walker, you got JOK, you got Phillips, you got Taki. You got Fields, who you drafted last year. Maybe you want one for special teams, but we're primarily a nickel dime defense.
Yeah. O-line 6.
I have O-line 7. Yeah.
All right.
And
You had
6.
safety 6. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think safety, you're looking for a guy. You could look for a guy in the mid rounds. O-line, you could too. I mean, you never can have enough offensive linemen, but right now I feel like you feel pretty good about where you're at. I think it would not surprise me if they do draft an offensive lineman, probably an interior guy at some point. But we're talking in terms of like there's really no need would be quarterback, cornerback. Linebackers probably maybe the next one, but again, special teams could play a role there. Line and safety, tight end, which would be my next 3.
You have tight end 4.
I have tight end 5.
Or 5.
O-line.
You have tight end behind running back.
I don't even have running back on the list.
You know, on the list.
Because I added kicker.
Oh, you added kicker.
And I put kicker 4th.
Okay. I was going like traditional position groups.
I went outside the box.
Yeah, so I went running back there, and then I went tight end 4. You went, what did you go for?
Kicker.
Sure.
And then I went defensive tackle, receiver, edge 1.
Edge 1. I have wide receiver 1.
Fine.
But replace it doesn't matter.
Those two to me are, again, if you're like doing kind of a, tiering it, those two are the top tier.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Did you watch Nets Celtics last night?
Briefly, not a ton
really
of it,
good,
but briefly.
Really good again. We didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday, but Tuesday, as one of the NBA games was at halftime that I was watching, I flipped over to ESPN and they were running the 30 for 30 on Greg Norman.
Oh, is
So-
it a new one?
Brand new. It's their most recent 30 for 30.
dropped
Have you
2
seen
days
this?
ago.
Yeah, it
The
dropped
Shark.
Tuesday. So I was asking the kids on my other occupation, do you know who Greg Norman is? And
Shark.
they said yes, they did. One said, is he a golfer? Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah, it was.
Nailed it.
Quite a good golfer.
Nailed it. But very little beyond a very surface level understanding of Norman. And the one said, isn't that the guy who was trying to do the Saudi Golf League? Like, he was a former golfer doing the golf. I said, yeah, that's the guy. Like, he was in on that for sure. So the doc is stunning from a lot of levels, but the biggest reason it's stunning is they take him back. He's at Augusta.
No way.
On the course by himself. So he plays a round by himself with the camera. There's nobody else at Augusta National. Not another soul. All you see is him and Augusta and the camera crew. And as he's telling the story and they're reliving,
The
people
collapse.
forget 86. 86, he misses by a millimeter to go into a playoff with Nicklaus in 86.
Yep.
People think Nicklaus ends with yes, sir. No. He was in the clubhouse for a couple of hours. Norman still had 4 or 5 holes to play to finish out. So 87, he misses a putt on 18 that would have won it. He goes to extra holes. Larry Mize chips in from 45.
Yep.
What I did not realize about that is when Norman hits his shot, he's saying to himself, holy cow, Mize just hit it about 8 feet. He's 45 yards out. He's going to be lucky to get up and down from there. So I'm just going to play it conservative. I'm going to 2-putt and win the Masters. And instead, Mize dunks it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So then all the other – apparently he'd lost other PGA Tour events like this. Like 5 or 6 times he lost PGA Tour events on this. And then it gets to 97.
When you Google him, the first thing it says was Greg Norman singled out by the golf gods for the worst luck.
And that's it. So then it goes to 87. So he's going through all of this as he's walking through an empty Augusta, and they go to 87. It's an 11-shot swing, of course. 6-shot leads, lose by 5. Just completely collapses. He tells a story how a British journalist went up to him, like a longtime golf journalist, was like, not even you can screw this up. And it's got in his head Saturday night at Augusta. And then he got wind that his family was flying people in for Sunday. Got in his head.
Come on, though. Come on.
I'm telling you.
Be tougher than
No, but that's the moral of the story is he wasn't. He wasn't. And in fact, Sunday before he teed off, he had heard that Peter Kostis someone had relayed something on the Golf Channel that Peter Kostis had said to them privately, and he called the director of the Masters on CBS to yell at Peter Kostis for a secondhand story that was told on the Golf Channel. That's where his head was going into that final round.
What?
Stunning.
Why?
Stunning. And they have him walking around the clubhouse, like just staring at the green jacket. He's talking about the Champions Dinner. Like, it was crazy. Now, you can't feel too sorry for him. He made $500 million. Very savvy businessman.
Great businessman.
Worth a lot of money.
The Shark line of apparel, he wines, golf course design.
Yeah.
Did they talk about when he almost died scuba diving?
If they did, I missed that part. This was primarily about just how dominant. He was number one a lot.
Yep.
And number one in the world a lot. And could not break through it.
I think 331 days he was number one in the world a lot. He won 2 Open championships.
Won the 2 Opens. Probably should have won at least 2 Masters.
Yeah. He won the Varden Trophy, which is the best golfer. That's what they say. 3 times. He won the Order of Merit, which is the European Tour's thing. He won that once. He won the Australian PGA Tour's Order of Merit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. PGA Player of the Year, Tour Player of the Year in 95. I mean, he's absolutely.
He was.
Incredibly
They said that he
decorated.
was inducted into the Golf Hall of Fame at like the highest percentage or something like that at the time of induction or whatever. So he was. Yeah, I mean, he was. But it's one of those. It just was. The reason I bring it up is it tells you how fleeting it is with these people we're discussing. I mean, this isn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It's 25 years ago when the collapse happens at Augusta. And if you were somebody who's not of a certain age, you have no really understanding of it, the whole part of it. And the whole part of it is fascinating. It's a really fascinating story.
Yeah.
I mean, you genuinely rooted for that guy to win.
Oh,
Like,
God.
it didn't matter if
97
you liked
was.
him or hated him as a person, but you just wanted to see him win it.
I loved the Shark. And he wore those hats.
Yeah.
Those
Like
were,
I can remember.
I didn't wear that. I didn't love
Sunday
the
after,
hats,
like
but they were great.
Final round was always at my grandmother's house.
Yeah.
And my uncles, my father, like whether you liked golf or you didn't like golf in the family, that was the day everybody was over for dinner, and you watched the last round. And I can remember like everybody wanted Norman. It didn't matter who was in front. It didn't matter. You just wanted to see the guy win once.
Yeah.
On a Sunday at Augusta.
Well, I mean, you go through his. We're talking about his best, finishes in majors. Here's what's crazy. So he won 2 the Open championships, 86, 93. U.S. Open, second twice. PGA Championship, second twice. Masters, second 3 times. And here's the crazy thing: is in 86, he wins the Open, runner-up at the PGA, runner-up at the Masters.
Yeah. And didn't he? I think he was the 54-hole leader in all 3.
All of them. Yeah, he called the Saturday Slam.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I had it that way. It's funny you say that, Gibby, because I felt this as someone who remembers like the '97 Masters. I would look at him the same way that I looked at John Cooper, the Buckeye head coach. Like this seemed like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
But he just could not beat Michigan. And I just was so empathetic, and that's how I felt about Norman. Like, God almighty, like it's enough. Let him win one, for crying out loud. And just couldn't.
Do either of you remember when so in 2014, Fox Sports announced that Norman would join Joe Buck as its lead commentary team for coverage of the USGA's championships in 2015. However, following criticism for his performance at the 2015 Open, he was let go in 16. I don't have any recollection of his performance or that it was so bad that he had to be gone after a year.
Well, my former intern was on that broadcast, so I do recall how that went.
Yeah.
And I remember it being a very clunky production.
Why was
it was clunky for Buck? It was clunky on Norman. Wasn't it at Chambers Bay, which was kind of a mess anyway?
So that's when
was
Dustin
that open
Johnson
at Chambers Bay?
I don't know. Say 2000.
Feels like it might have been.
It's Chambers Bay, Washington State.
Yeah, it was in Seattle.
That would have been Dustin Johnson.
I
won
think
that. Yeah,
so.
Chambers or Spieth.
I was
won
at
it.
Fox's
Dustin
first
blew it,
foray
didn't he?
into
Dustin
golf.
blew it, and Spieth won. Yeah, it was Chambers Bay.
It was a very clunky course that they were complaining about. It was,
the course was like gold.
The course looked crazy because they had that train that went through. Apparently, the course is great.
It's amazing.
But for whatever reason, I don't know if they overcooked it or whatever. Like the whole thing just didn't feel like a U.S. Open, and it was very clear Fox. It's interesting that he took the fall for Buck because it felt like Buck, and I love Buck, but that Buck was kind of out of his depth on that in comparison to Nance and what normally was. They got their feet under them shortly thereafter. All right, coming up next, Amari Cooper at the podium. You'll hear his press conference. That's coming up next. Just a Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. And the Bath Authority can give you the bathroom of your dreams. Why not transform your current bathroom into a custom bath? Perhaps make it feel like a spa. They can do it for you at the Bath Authority. They can make it a reality for you at a fraction of the cost of the competitors. The Bath Authority is Cleveland's premier bath and shower remodeler. Expert factory-trained installers. Affordability meeting quality here, guys. Largest selection of bath projects. They're all made right here in the good United States of A. Change your bathroom from outdated to outstanding. Acrylic tubs that insulate and keep the heat in. Tub-to-shower conversions. Superior products. Expert installers. Give them a call now at 216-220-8399 or go to thebathauthority.com. If you do so, they'll give you $500 off your next custom bath or shower remodel. That number is 216-220-8399. And now here's Amari Cooper at the podium yesterday.
You're down.
So don't worry. Hey, what have your impressions been of just, getting to Cleveland, getting acclimated, new teammates, all that stuff?
It's been cool. Obviously when you come into a new environment, it feels like getting drafted all over again, or feels like first day of summer workouts in college, similar type of processes. So, I've been in this situation before, and it's cool getting to know new people, being in a new environment, getting to explore a different part of the country that I've never been to, so it's cool.
You got traded here. What did you know about the organization, and what was your excitement level?
I think the most I knew about the organization was what's that movie? Draft Day. Yeah. I think that's the most I know. I think that's the most I knew about the organization. Obviously, I've never played for the organization before. And then, the history, how historic the program is, as far as, all the Heisman Trophy winners who have come and played for the organization, the great running backs and stuff like that. That's pretty much all I know.
Joking aside, how do you feel about having to play in bad weather a lot of the year?
Yeah, it's football. It's what we sign up for. It's played outdoors, and that's part of the game. That's part of what separates this game from every other game. I embrace it.
What's your reaction? You came first, but just from a pure football standpoint, what was your reaction when the Browns made the trade for Deshaun Watson? You got to play with Dak in Dallas, and now you're coming here, and you're going to get to play with Deshaun. So what was your reaction when you saw that happen?
I was happy. I was elated. My friends called me right away. I was actually in another country. I was in Dubai. I was extremely happy. The thing is, there's a huge time difference. Like, I think when it happened here, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know the time because I wasn't here, but maybe it was like 2 o'clock or something, and it was like 12 there, so I was kind of asleep. And I woke up, just saw a whole bunch of text messages and stuff like that. Guys were like, "Man, you lucky." Some of my former teammates, and I was like, "What?" And then I checked social media, the news, and then I found out the information. So it was cool. I was happy about it.
Did you know Deshaun before the trade for both you guys?
I think I had met him in person maybe once. I think we did like some type of commercial together or something like that. But I didn't know him personally that well. And then probably at the Pro Bowl a couple of times. So I knew him for sure, but like I didn't know him like a teammate,
Dressed the team over the last couple of days?
Like in what way? Like he broke the huddle and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Mark, you have a really good, consistent record of showing up, playing almost every game in your career. What do you attribute that to? Is that a source of pride? Just your.
Yeah, the thing about wide receivers in their production, there are some extenuating circumstances there. It's not like I play tackle or something like that to where if I'm a great player, it's gonna show just because it's just mano that way. But like you mentioned earlier, the weather plays a part, a receiver, obviously the targets and stuff like that. But I always felt like if I get the targets, I'm gonna do well. So it's never been a concern of mine. Yeah.
What was your first reaction when you learned that you were coming to Cleveland when the trade very first happened?
The thing about nowadays, it's not like back in the days. I had a coach when I was in Oakland who played wide receiver for 10 years, Rob Moore. He got traded. He didn't even know about it, you know what I mean, because there was no social media. So guys were interviewing him and asking him questions, and that's how he found out he got traded. But, there's always something looming when you're about to get traded or something like that, so you kind of know. So I wasn't really surprised at all.
You talk about getting targets. So you're coming to a team that likes to run the ball a lot. So how are you going to cope with that when you might not be getting as many targets as you would like?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of college. Alabama. I like to relate the teams I played for. I was at Alabama. We had a great running game. We were known for running the ball. I think any team that has assets, they're gonna use them. Number one. Number two is just the run game. It opens up the pass game. So not something I'm really worried about whether I get a lot or not. Just because we have such an explosive running game, I know that when I do get targeted, it's gonna be wide open. So it's a win-win.
Individually, how have you improved and how has your game evolved?
I would say the single most important way that my game has gotten better is just experience. I'm a smarter player. I'm a vet. I understand how games go in the league, the ebb and flow of things. So just experience.
Look forward to helping some of the younger guys like Donovan Peoples-Jones and Anthony Schwartz with their route running, and what do you continue to do to improve year after year at your own route running?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at this point in my career, I'm a veteran. It's my responsibility to help the younger guys, and the thing about, playing in the NFL or playing in any league, I would assume, it goes by so fast. I'm already in my 8th year. I remember being the youngest guy because I was drafted when I was 20. And then as the years go by, sometimes you still kind of feel like you're the youngest guy until you look up and you're like, wait, I'm the oldest guy in the room. And then that's when you start to realize, hey, it's my responsibility to look after these guys, to make these guys better, to make the room better, to make the team better. And so I embrace that.
The expectation this year is that obviously the passing game is going to look totally different with different personnel out there. I guess just in the first days in Cleveland, what's the excitement like in the building amongst you guys as players?
Yeah, very, very exciting. I understand that's the reason I'm here, to help the passing game improve. And I take that on, because, again, I feel like it's my responsibility to do that. And it's no worries. I know what I can do, and I'm excited about it. I can't wait to go out there and help the passing game improve. And so just have to practice, to stay on top of things, to work on all the tools in my tool bag to be that great wide receiver that they want me to be.
I know you said you weren't surprised to be traded, but were you hoping things would work out with Dallas for you to stay, or did you want a new chapter?
I mean, it's not like I dislike being in Dallas. I actually love being there, So, I wouldn't say I just wanted to leave, but at the same time, it's never personal. It's just business, and that's part of the business of being in this league. Things like that happen all the time. Players get cut, players get traded. There's no player in the league who's still in the league from 30 years ago. So it all comes to an end at some point. And so, with that said, I am excited about this new chapter, and like I said before, I embrace it. I look forward to the future here.
Jarvis Landry pretty well. Have you been in contact with him, and how much would you like to see him maybe come back here and join you?
Yeah, just another player I know from, being at the Pro Bowl and stuff. I think he's a 5-time Pro Bowler, so he's been there a lot. Haven't been in communication with him, though.
Although you played with the Raiders first, you come from the NFC, and there's been a lot of guys come from the NFC to this conference. Russell Wilson, Devontae Adams, yourself. What do you make of all that? Have you noticed it? This conference is tougher than ever.
I don't really think about it like that. Obviously, I've seen all the other trades that have happened. I just think, again, that's part of being in this league. It happens every year. No team. I think I'm probably wrong with the numbers, but I think about 40 or 60% of every team every year changes personnel-wise. So it happens. And as far as what conference is better, I'm not really sure.
Go ahead, Mark. Will you put in some time with Deshaun to, maybe try to become his go-to guy, like just working extra with him maybe?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you always want to work extra with your quarterback, especially if it's a new quarterback. Um, but he's a great player. I'm a great player. We're going to make it work by any means necessary. But I think as far as being his number one receiver, that has to be earned. We just can't come out here and say, oh, this is the number one guy. Doesn't matter what you've done in the past. That has to be earned every day. OTAs, mini camp, training camp, and so I'm looking forward to going out there and earning the respect of Deshaun, allowing him to see, hey, I want to throw to this guy. I'm confident in this guy. I know he's going to come through for me, and so just have to go out there and prove that.
Do you think when you look at this roster as a whole, and then when the team makes a move like extending a young guy like Denzel Ward, kind of another one of those cornerstone pieces?
Yeah, I mean, we have a great roster, but every team has a great roster. I guess the difference is some teams have great quarterbacks, running backs, linebackers. Other teams have great safeties, corner. That's the difference right there. But every team, every roster has great players. It's not so much about that. It's just about the guys coming together, working hard every day, creating that culture. Going out there competing at the highest level, because every team has talent, and that's what we look forward to doing. Every team at this point we all have the same goals. So it's about who can do those things that I just mentioned the best.
Guys like Denzel and Greg Newsome and John Johnson III will only help you become a better receiver through training camp.
That's one of the first things I heard when I got here. We have some pretty good DBs. I'm looking forward to the competition. That's what it's about at the end of the day. This game is about competition. There's no player in this league who isn't competitive. And so, I look forward to the competition with those guys, especially those guys who I'm going to be going up against, who have proven themselves. It's going to be great work.
You got one more? Two more. Obviously, everybody involved with the Browns is waiting to find out what the league is going to do with the Deshaun situation. How much do you have to balance preparing with him, but also Jacoby Brissett, in case there's a suspension that you have to, deal with as a team, as an offense?
I mean, to be honest, I haven't really thought much about it. One thing I do know now that you forced me to think about it, I think the personnel department here is great, just like everywhere else, and I'm supremely confident in all that. So we'll be ready.
From Coach Saban, he used to work here.
Yeah, a long time ago. I hear from him from time to time.
15 seconds.
I think the last time I heard from him was probably last year, but not anything concerning the trade, no.
Like draft day?
The colors. All right.
You're hot. All right, you listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. And before I continue here, if your car, truck, or motorcycle accident caused you injury, I want to remind you to call the injury lawyers at 1-800-ELK, Ohio for a free case review. Elk & Elk's a proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. Coming up next, an exclusive one-on-one interview with Pro Bowl cornerback Denzel Ward. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Are your business operations suffering from internal communication breakdowns? Beau here for my friends at EOX Vantage. Data scientists, also business operations experts. Your EOX Vantage team helps you build a streamlined communication system that brings together your email, your chat, your intranet announcements, and CRM into one clear flow. Your people, including those who work remotely, gain a centralized hub that encourages collaboration. No more disconnected communication methods that leave team members out of the loop and not on the same page. Real, everyday business problems solved with EOX Vantage. See how other business owners are getting everyone on the same page by visiting EOXVantage.com. And now an exclusive special one-on-one with Denzel Ward and the Great Z.
Very happy to be joined by Denzel Ward.
You're down.
Let me congratulate you on signing a historic deal to extend your time here with the Cleveland Browns through 2027. Let's just talk about kind of how did this come to be? Kind of walk us through your state of mind leading up to the moment when you walked upstairs and signed that paper.
Man, it was crazy. So I knew that we're in talks. I was talking constant communication with my agent, Tori Dandy, and AB. So we were going back and forth probably like a week before, and just going back and forth on contracts and trying to get it done and coming to agreement about things. And then the past couple of days, it was getting closer. Like, okay, this thing might get done. We might make it happen. And I mean, the day came. They signed it off and came to agreement. So it was exciting.
So where were you when you got the phone call from your agent that yes, this is in fact done?
I was in Florida. I was in Florida coming back up here to Cleveland. Got it done. I was excited. Mom excited. Brother excited. Family. So it was crazy.
What was kind of like your emotion when you got it? He said it's done. You're going to be the highest paid cornerback in NFL history. You're going to be with the Browns, staying in Ohio where you spent your entire football life. Going forward,
I was in shock, man. Just I continue to look at it, continue to see highest paid cornerback in history. I mean, it's been a lot of amazing corners, a lot of amazing DBs that then came through the NFL, and for my name to be up there at the top and one of those guys, it means a lot. I take a lot of pride in that, a lot of respect in that. I just want to continue to show that I'm that guy, but I mean, it's a blessing at the end of the day.
Did you ever people think, let's aim high, right? And we have these goals for ourselves personally, professionally, team, all of that. Did you ever think like a day like this would actually come?
Man, I mean, you have thoughts in the back of your head like, man, you want to be the best, you want to get the best and do everything. But, I mean, for me, I just want to work and grind and do everything that I can to put myself in that position. And then, like, once it's finally in front of your face, then it's like, wow, like, you finally here. But, I mean, it's still a long way to go, like I said, but it's definitely amazing to be in this position.
When you actually took the pen in your hand and were about to sign the paper, were you excited, nervous? Did you get emotional? Because then it's real. Yeah. It's real. It's done.
I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of shaking. I'm like, oh man, I'm really signing this. It's crazy. So definitely a lot of emotion going through my body, just excitement, but blessed. Like I said, just blessed at the end of the day.
And I know you saw a lot of love from your teammates, obviously, on social media. I have to imagine when you walked in, people, dinner's on Denzel now, right? What was kind of the reaction?
Yeah, that's been all the reaction. Dinner on me, going out, everything's on me. So, I mean, it's all good. I definitely bring it on, definitely bring that camaraderie on. So, definitely appreciative of my teammates, everyone that's congratulated me and helped get me to this point in time.
What was it like to kind of get back here, take the contract out of it, but just be able to kind of walk in? And I know Ohio really put its best weather foot forward there, a little snow for everybody. You're used to it.
Yeah.
Maybe not everybody else on the team's used to it, but just to know that you're walking back in, you're about to start this 2022 season here with this team to accomplish, have the opportunity to accomplish something really special.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to, glad about the new additions that we added to the team. So, I mean, it's a lot of excitement around the team. I was looking forward to getting back, seeing the guys, getting with the coaches. I'm just looking forward to getting everything started again. I mean, we didn't go out how we wanted to last year, but we got a new opportunity this year, and that's the biggest thing.
On the back end of this defense, a lot of continuity. In your room, you're back, Greg's back, Troy's back, Greedy's back, A.J. Green is back. So the five guys who played the most in your room, all back. You go to the safeties, Ronnie, John, Grant, Rich LeCount, all back. How's that continuity kind of helping you as you guys hit the ground running here for this early phase one?
Yeah, I think that makes the biggest difference in the world. Just having those guys that you know how they play, you know what they're going to do on the field, who's going to be in what position. Having the same coaches back is huge too, not having to learn a new playbook, knowing the defenses that's going to be going in. So I think we could build on top of last year, build on top of the years that we had together, and really be special this year.
What did Jeff Howard and Brandon Lynch have to say to you?
Man, just calling me, thanking me, and I'm thanking them. I appreciate them so much for helping get me to this position in time. But just real grateful for them, though.
Everybody talks about the camaraderie, and so you've had an unbelievable, life-changing moment, not only for you, but for generations of Wards to come.
Definitely.
That camaraderie's got to be fun, though, because everybody, they take pride in it. They love it. I know they're going to tease you, as you mentioned earlier, about taking it out to dinner, but is that cool to kind of sign it as you're coming back and actually getting to be together, as opposed to you signing it, in Florida, in the middle of the offseason? You're not going to see any of your teammates. Was that kind of cool to be able to have that moment and share that with everybody?
No, definitely. Be able to share that moment with my teammates, my family, and everybody. So I'm looking forward to continue to get with my teammates, go out to eat, and just continue to communicate, talk, and just get back with the guys.
You said something in your press conference earlier that struck me, and some people think, oh, now I've gotten paid, now I've made it. And what you said is that means now I have to work harder, work more. The word work is all over this building right now in typical Kevin Stefanski fashion. Yeah. Kind of what's your mindset about, okay, yes, they've given me this tremendous reward that I've earned, by the way. You did earn it.
Appreciate it.
And then now how you want to go forward and carry yourself knowing that you are a cornerstone of this franchise.
Yeah, I feel like I've been proving myself since I've been in the league. Like you said, I feel that definitely earned this contract. But my biggest thing, I want to work. I feel I want to grind. I feel I want to show that I'm that guy. I'm deserving of this. And just to give back to the community, give back to everybody. It's not just for me, I feel like, but just want to continue to show that I'm that guy.
You mentioned the community. You were the Walter Payton Man of the Year for the Cleveland Browns in 2021. By the way, that's a pretty good stretch. Walter Payton Man of the Year, highest paid cornerback in NFL history. Both meaningful in their own right, but you're working the community. Make them know your name, your foundation. How important is that, and does this allow you to do even more in that regard?
It's huge, and it's definitely important. Like I said, this contract is definitely going to help for me to expand and my family to expand our foundation, be able to help the community and do different things. So we're definitely going to be trying to come up with new ideas, the ways we could give back, ways we could make a positive impact.
What did it mean when you were the Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the Cleveland Browns?
Man, it meant a lot. I wouldn't say that it was a goal of mine, but it was something like in the back of my head where it was like, man, this is definitely a goal achieved. I have a foundation, I have this goals where I want to positively impact the community and people around me, and just trying to do that and bring my family along. So it was definitely grateful to be recognized for the Walter Payton Man of the Year, and my family should be grateful for that as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of great players in the league, but if you go through the list of guys that are great players and then also Walter Payton Man of the Year for their team, not as big of a list. And the person who comes to my mind immediately is Larry Fitzgerald. That guy's great on the field, great off the field, and clearly that's something you're striving to do as well.
Yeah, definitely striving to do that. Like I say, just trying to stay in the community and be good on and off the field.
All right, let's talk about this team. You said some new faces, Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, guys you're going to have to deal with in practice and in training camp, and then be thankful you don't have to deal with them in games anymore. What's kind of the energy that they've brought as you guys have just, starting to get to know each other and be around each other? Yeah,
it's going to be exciting. I went against both of those guys, whether that was in college or in the NFL. So those are talented guys I'm looking forward to going against in practice and building this team up.
What's kind of the vibe, would you say, of the team right now?
I think guys are excited. Guys are excited to get back, get to work. Guys are in there grinding, ready to work. Got a new opportunity this year. Like I said, we didn't finish how we wanted last year, but new opportunity, new beginning, so we're ready to get it started.
What was your offseason like prior to the week with the contract and all that? What did you choose to do? As you mentioned, last year didn't end the way you guys wanted it to. But it's the NFL. Quickly a new season will come. You get to watch Super Bowl play out, take some time yourself, and then now here you are back starting the work for what we hope is a great 2022 season. So what did you kind of do in the getaway period?
Yeah, took a couple trips with my family, but once I got back to work, I got a routine. So I went out to Florida and was working out and just getting my body right, getting ready, and prepared to come back here.
Family, I know, is so important to you. What was kind of their reaction to this?
Man, everyone has all different reactions, crying, laughing, smiling, everybody's excited. So definitely go throw like a little party or something for family and close friends to come in and celebrate. So they're going to enjoy it.
And I know you mentioned in your press conference Mother's Day, you got something big planned. Anything big planned for yourself after signing this contract, or are we just focused on Mom, which is a beautiful thing, by the way?
Yeah, focus on my family right now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for myself yet, but definitely want to do something special for my family. So thinking of ideas about that.
We're so happy for you, and the cool thing, you get to do it.
20 seconds.
You have committed to Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns said, we need you here. We are committing to you here, and we're going to put that money in front of you to make sure you say, absolutely, let's do this. And you can do so much more in the area where you were born. That's what, to me, you can't really make this stuff up. This is real life. You're living that dream. And I think it's awesome. So happy for you, man. Congrats.
Appreciate it, man.
You're hot.
That was great stuff. Great stuff with Denzel. It's amazing that he's going to be here. His story is an emotional one.
It's awesome.
It's really cool.
I really enjoyed getting to talk with him, and I felt like, his story is emotional, and I teased this yesterday, but there's going to be a video we'll put out either Building the Browns or on social of, we at the end of it when I talked about how family is important to him and, handing him this tablet, and he got to watch all these messages from important people in his life, and just to see him I got emotional just watching it.
Sure.
Watching him watch it, I should say. It's one of those things as a kid, you don't even dare to dream that big sometimes, right?
Mm-mm.
And it's a Hollywood movie in many ways, but it's real life, and for him, and I think that's so cool. And he's such a humble young guy, and he wants to work even more now that he has the contract, which tells you why he's the kind of person you want to make that kind of investment in.
It's one of those things. If you're like in the 5th or 6th grade and you say, I'm going to be a standout at Nordonia, then I'm going to go play at Ohio State, and then I'm going to be a first-round pick of the Browns, then I'm going to be the highest-paid corner in the league, your friends say you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're not doing any of those things. You did them all. Did them all.
Check.
Yep.
Check.
Crushed it. Bill Barnwell with his NFL mock draft, his most recent one with all of and this is bonkers. We'll get into that. Still time for the mailbag as well. Tweet those to @Browns_daily. Unfortunately, there's not an @Gibbe.
There should be.
You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Family-owned and operated. Whether joining them as a customer or as an employee, you'll become part of the family. Visit Rumpke.com to learn more on that side of things. Bill Barnwell with his latest mock draft. And what he's actually doing here is a proposed deal for all 32 picks. And there are some doozies. Here are the real attention getters. Now, you tell me you would do this. You're the GM of these franchises. At number 4, the New York Jets would receive the 9th pick in the first round and the 72nd pick in the overall third-round pick in exchange for, and along with DK Metcalf. In return, Seattle gets the 4th pick, the 35th pick, the 69th pick, and Corey Davis. If you're the Jets, do you do that?
I don't know. I'm more interested in the Jets, what they do, what he has the Jets doing at 10.
I'm getting there.
I'm much more fascinated.
9 and 72 and DK for 4, 35, 69, and Corey Davis.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I would do that. This is what we'll get to. Well, let's just go right to that at 10. So, as at 10, he has the Jets giving up a 2023 4th. I'm sorry, receiving a 2023 4th and Kyler for the 10th pick this year, the 69th pick this year, a 2023 first and Zach Wilson, and receiving Kyler and a 4th.
Okay. If you believe in Zach Wilson and you just selected him 2nd overall
a year ago,
no way do you do this deal.
No.
If you have real questions about Zach Wilson, because you're basically giving up 3 ones. You're giving up 10, a first round in 2023, and then the 2nd pick of the year before for a 4th rounder in Kyler. Yeah, I'd be inclined, if I have any belief whatsoever internally in Zach Wilson, I say no to that deal.
Do you believe in Zach Wilson?
He can sling it. Handsome fella.
Yeah. Would you do this deal if you were running it, knowing what you know about him, what you know about Kyler?
No, I would not.
You would not?
I'm not fully sold on Kyler being great.
Yeah, the fading is real.
Happens every year.
Yeah, it is. That part's real. Right before that.
And there seems to be a petulance about him.
There's no question. That goes all the way back to the Dan Patrick Show appearance when it was just awkward.
Yeah.
Right before that, the Seahawks at number 9, he has them receiving 28, 59, and Jordan Love. The Packers get number 9 in that deal.
If I in Seattle was a proponent of Jordan Love coming out, and I knew people that I could talk to, and I felt pretty good about it, then yeah, that's as good a shot. I don't lose my first round pick this year. I just go back, 19 spots. I pick up a 2, which is I think a sweet spot in this year's draft. And I get a chance at a quarterback that's probably has every good a shot at being a guy as anybody in this draft.
As Drew Lock, who's on your roster.
Geno Smith.
He's got the Steelers giving up 20 overall, so their first rounder this year, and a 3rd, the 84th overall. They receive the 61st overall, which is a 2, and the 134th, which is a 4, and Jimmy Garoppolo from the Niners.
Oh yeah, if I'm the Steelers, I would do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Feels like they're in an interesting spot because they kind of have everything that's all right except for quarterback to compete in the AFC.
Yep.
And Jimmy has proven that when healthy, he can do that. The Packers, I would not do this if I were the Packers. They would get Chase Claypool and a number 4 from the Falcons, 114 overall. The Steelers get the 8th pick this year and the 6th, and the Falcons get get 2 2s, the 20th and 22nd. I would not do this if I were the Packers.
Why are the Falcons doing this? Because they get 20 and 22 to go from 8 to 20. They pick up
just an extra 1.
An extra 1 to go down 12 spots. You get an extra 1 and a good draft. I guess I could see that from their standpoint.
I wouldn't do it from the Packers standpoint. I don't love Claypool.
Not for. No, I like the receiver I could draft there.
I like the receiver I can draft.
Same.
Yeah, and then at 29. He has the Chiefs getting Hollywood Brown and a 4th rounder for the 29th, the 2023 5th, and McCole Hardman.
I don't hate that. It's just, what do I think about the receiver that could be there for them? I think Hollywood Brown is their best opportunity to put a Tyreek Hill type of a guy right into that role because Hollywood Brown can fly. I think Hollywood Brown's pretty good. Yeah, if I'm the Chiefs, I certainly would be interested in that. No doubt. No doubt.
So we are going to, with all of this mud, we are going to have some sort of practice in the muck to the point where we may be using. I'm telling you, you have 2 choices if you're going to play spring sports in Ohio. Be a mudder or synthetic turf everywhere. That's it.
Domes.
Dome. Everybody put a dome in.
Domes.
That's where you're at. That's where you're at. We'll do a little Ask CBD. Still time to go get those questions into Gibbe. You can do that coming up next, and we'll do it coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. OBM, Ohio Business Machine, preferred copier provider, your Cleveland Browns. They have all the X's and O's for your office. Call 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. Time for a little Ask CBD. Hello, Gibby.
Hello, gentlemen.
Gibby, quickly, because we are so loaded yesterday. We didn't have the fun and frivolity that we would like to have. But now that Beau is back, give us some highlights of your trip, dude.
Well, right after I got done, I can't believe I'm even going to say this to you, the two of you.
Oh, baby.
But I believe this is karma for my tweets at you on Monday.
Which were hurtful and full of just vitriol.
Rub some salt on it. Rub
Banned.
some dirt on it.
I believe he was
whatever.
banned.
He was banned. Yeah, he was absolutely banned, and I wish that an alligator would eat his hand.
That's right.
Chubs?
Worse than that.
You still have both your hands. But now I'm scared.
Worse than that, my friend.
Any other appendages?
My kid beat me.
Whoa. Legit? Well, she's on the golf team.
She's on the golf team.
She is.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is this the first
amazing
time?
How
was she
when
chesty?
When there's credits on the line, all of a sudden someone comes to play and flips it up a notch.
Oh, I like that. Was she chesty with you? Chesty 80?
Unbelievable. To the point where my wife was like, you are visibly angry about this.
Yeah.
Hold on. I have a couple of questions. Question one,
This makes me so happy.
Question one, what was the match? What were the rules that we were playing under?
Number one, we were playing like it was definitely a shorter course.
Okay. But I'm saying, are we playing stroke play or are we playing hole-to-hole match play?
Strokes.
You have had a front row seat to hear one of the greatest golf stories of all time when Zago just walked off the course.
I debated pulling a Zago.
Yeah,
it was in my
heat
head.
Exhaustion, too much humidity. Unsanctioned, I'm out.
Yeah,
and you have to. The best part is he had a pull cart.
Yep.
That's how he always rolled, and I could just see him. He pushed it in this case, but pushing his little off into the sunset. That could have been you. What a great moment that could have been for you. So you debated it. The thought actually did go through your head.
As we were on the 8th hole, and I realized
on the
I
8th,
was not going to do this.
Oh, you knew on the front 9.
We
were
only
like,
played 9.
Oh, I was going to say, your dormy
okay.
11?
Right, yeah.
The kid was having none of it. She's like, I don't play after 10. It's too hot down here.
You had the perfect out.
Perfect
You're
out
right.
there,
Too
too.
hot. No.
Well,
unsanctioned round.
You know, you're right.
Don't get me wrong. We finished the front 9, and she was a little chesty, and I was like, don't make me take you back out here. We'll go 9 more.
Good for her.
And I will play 27 if I have to prove my point.
We'll stay out here all day.
All day long.
Yep, I'll miss my
So this
flight.
is the first time she's ever bested you in a 9-hole match?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That is
and
awesome.
It was because in
karma.
9 holes,
and she's better.
her total putts in 9 holes, 11.
Oh, boss of the moss.
Just
She's on the golf team. Like she's
from
not screwing
40
around,
feet,
man.
From like 50 feet. She was just like the guys in front of us started watching because she was just sinking every putt. She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I bet you don't know.
That's
Funny
awesome.
how there's credits being, yeah.
You got hustled.
I love it.
We got done and she's like,
Billy
well, I'll add up the scorecard. I said, if you're wrong, I'm docking a stroke or I'm docking money off of you.
Stroke penalty. 2-stroke penalty.
And she was off by 1. She beat me by 1 stroke.
Hold on a second. Am I to believe that we don't know exactly what everybody's shots are and scores are and you didn't know where the match stood? It needed to be tallied up post-round?
Oh, I knew. I knew exactly where I needed to be.
Okay.
She did not.
Oh, wow.
She's freewheeling. She's got the music playing. She's playing Taylor Swift down the middle of the fairway. We're blasting in at 9 a.m.
Like
awesome.
When I play with like the kids, Sims thinks it's fascinating that I always know. Not only I could tell you every one of my shots, I could tell you every shot of everybody in the group on every hole.
You have that down.
Yeah. I knew I was in trouble because there had been cocktails the night before.
And there was
I was a
hate
little
in your
bit
heart.
in the weeds.
There was hate in your heart.
At 8 a.m., she striped the drive 200 yards down and was 10 yards off the green on the one on a short par 4. And I was like, well, this is going to be a problem.
I love it.
And then she duffed it. Oh, no, she hit it, and it went over the back, and then she holed out. She didn't even need a putter. She birdied the first hole. And I was like, well, this is going to be a significant issue, and I better start getting it together.
Hate to see it.
Not to be.
I think it's great. I love it.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's what you deserve. The hate. I mean, a lot of people on Twitter were dismayed at the hate in your heart, Gibby.
I beg to differ. There were a lot of likes. I was still getting likes yesterday on that.
Sometimes those likes, what they mean is so that they can save it, so they can show it. Like when you like it, it saves in your likes, so that you can then show it to people as an example of what not to do.
I'm gonna disagree with you. It was.
We said that's why
it was hot.
Because of you, we said
I
Twitter
ate some
needs a
fantastic
dislike button.
food.
Because of you. I was on Tuesday.
Dislike.
I said that. I said we need a dislike, so we could
yeah.
just dislike that tweet. No, don't
It needs
like
to just
it.
be this.
Yeah, exactly. Like we would do to Simone.
Yeah.
He'd
Same.
send us something, disliked. Yeah.
You didn't get that chance. I
No,
lived.
but you know what?
It snowed here.
She was the hero we all needed.
She was. In her mind.
Oh, God, sure. Meckling's up to no good. Don't do this, Meckling. Don't read that question. Not allowed to be
We'll
read.
get to it. The Twitter mailbag is open at Browns_daily using the hashtag AskCBD. One we did not get to last week, and I wanted to make sure we had time for it this week. We have a gentleman who is a big Browns fan. Frederick
Just one, huh?
Coming in. Hi, guys. Where's the best place to stay?
I thought he was coming in.
When I finally come from Germany this year to see the Browns.
Oh.
Any specific things that I have to do other than the Browns game? Hashtag AskCBD.
I want to know. I mean, I'd want to know how many days.
Right.
Depends on what time of year. I mean, if it's a certain time of the year, maybe you want to do Cedar Point. I think you got to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you've never been and you're coming, that's a perfect aperitif into a Browns game.
And I feel like he's coming for a Browns game, so try to come in September. I would recommend staying at is it the Hilton, the tall one that's right there where you can like look into the stadium
that's cool.
from
Where
your
you can
room,
look
stay
right
there,
over.
go to the rooftop
Yeah.
bar. Yeah, that absolutely take a if you have time, gallivant up to Cedar Point, Pro Football Hall of Fame. I think you're exactly right. Tons of good food down there. You can really, have your pick. There's so many great places to check out. Yeah.
Got to go to the West Side Market. I like that. I encourage people to do that. I'm a big
Marble
supporter of
Room
that.
downtown, Luca for Italian,
Yeah,
little
great food. Great
Yes.
food.
Town Hall.
Yeah, walk around.
Little Fahrenheit,
Downtown
little
Cleveland's
Fahrenheit,
really,
of
it's really
course.
walkable.
Rock up.
You can walk around all sorts of great stuff, and you're right. If you stay at that Hilton, you're saying you're not. You can walk over to the Rock Hall if you want to do that. It's all there.
Yeah.
Rally at Rally in the North tweets at the show. Who are your candidates for biggest leap forward this year on the roster? One for offense, one for defense. He says Njoku and Delpit would be my two nominations.
Oh man, that's what I was
Same.
Literally,
Just writing down.
literally writing that.
As Gibby is saying that, I'm literally writing down.
Yeah, same. I
Njoku.
got the
Yeah,
NJOK.
I got the full last name, and I was just
I'll
getting to the D.
throw JOK, Jeremiah Wusu-Koromo, out there as to be different on the defensive side.
Feels like he's there.
Yeah,
But
I think he's going to become
even.
Yeah, household name everywhere.
Yeah.
Greister tweets at the show. This is a question for Beau. Is the infamous extra hot sauce at St. Elmo's the most deadly thing Beau has ever eaten?
In general, no. That specific dose, yes.
Yeah, you almost died.
I've never had. I mean, I'm not like I wouldn't be like the guy who eats like that hot chip thing or the hot salsa guy thing. I'm not that anyway. I've been to Mexico several times and have had very hot things there, habanero stuff. But there was something about it. I don't know if it just was a full chunk of horseradish that hit perfectly that maybe I swallowed it without chewing it. I have no idea. But there's something about that. Because normally I don't. Normally it's hot, but it's not that.
No, and it's not even
it
that.
Just cleans you out. Like, it's
right,
fine.
it's not that kind of heat.
And I'd had it many times. That's why I was so aggressive with the dip. It's like, I know what this is.
I'm not afraid.
No worries. But then there was something in that bite that was unlike any other bite I've ever had. And I was fearful that I would not be able to breathe.
For me, it was a Carolina Reaper sauce at Barrio. And I'd had it many times and just a little dab.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I was only helped out. This is when I had to drink the half and half. The lady saw me and she's like, "You haven't spoken. Your face is red. You look like you're dying." And I'm like, "Yes, I am. I am dying. Help me."
And you don't love milk, right? So you got to be in a. Ideally, you're in like a.
I'm fine with milk.
Oh, you're okay.
Does the
with milk?
body good. I mean, I was a big cereal guy growing up. Every morning.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like an almond milk or a coconut milk or
Sure,
something
sure.
would probably even be better.
Sure. Half and half.
Not ideal.
No, ripping little cans and shooting half.
No,
the little
that's not going to do it.
top. No, it's terrible. Sad.
Richie Fox with a couple for us this week.
Ned. Happy birthday to Ned. You had a birthday recently.
Weather will eventually turn around. Festivities featuring the small ball will commence. What is your favorite scene in Caddyshack?
Wow.
I mean, I think Cervic getting on the scene the very first time is pretty great.
Looks good on you, though. Yeah, that whole thing.
Him with the judge in the pro shop. That's pretty great.
Okay, Wang. Don't tell him you're Jewish.
That whole thing is perfect.
That whole scene, the first tee, $1,000 you hit. Gambling is illegal at Bishop.
Right. That whole run
never
is
slice. Yeah, I like
that. To me, that's the best. I actually think I actually prefer the beginning of it to the end of it.
Same. I like that scene. I like the scene where
I don't care about Danny much.
Bill Murray has got the pitchfork in the guy's throat, and he's telling him about when he caddied for the Llama. Yeah. Llama, the big hitter. The Llama. Yeah.
I like all the Chevy scenes are great. Like him, with Lacey at the that's fantastic.
What is this, the Dance of the Living Dead?
Richie follows up. As we know,
good question.
The 4 Ps are prominently evident in all actions by AB. We have not seen AB trade into the first round so far. How bold will AB be in the draft? Bootsy bold, or Black Cobra, or Nathan Zegura with egg salad?
He's never picked where his second-round pick has been. He moved back for Delpit and picked up the 5th round and then became Nick Harris. He moved up to get Jeremiah Wusu-Koromoa. So I think the track record would say that he might move, but
how would you define bold? Would bold
like going
be
into
like
the
going
first
into
round?
The first round,
yeah,
I think.
And I'd be surprised.
And plus, I mean, you don't have ones going forward.
I was going to say the assets you have.
Yeah, you'd be giving up a lot of assets.
Your asset accumulation doesn't seem like it would add up. This is a deep draft, so I think you're just fine staying where you're at or moving a little bit. But for bold to be defined, I would think it would have to go into the first.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of egg salad.
Oh, God. Nope.
Bobby?
Don't ask it. No. Can't hear you.
I appreciate the tweet, my friend.
I can't hear you.
Would Nathan Zegura eat an egg salad sandwich for the Browns to win a Super Bowl? Now, we talked about how much money it would cost. If the Browns... If Nathan...
He would do it because he is a man of the people. And
for all of you,
he would choke
I
it
would
down.
do it, and it would be...
How would you have it prepared to make it digestible for you? Like, is there a specific type of bread? Would you want it, like, loaded with mustard or...
Well, you're saying I could put a condiment on it now?
Well, egg salad it's a mayo and mustard featured spread. So
can I would just throw like as much hot sauce as you would allow me to put on it.
Like a lot, yeah. And
as
then
much.
Yeah. Any other vegetable you'd put on it? Does it matter what the bread is?
Like
I know.
Seriously.
Terrible.
Out of like some celery or like
there
an
can be
onion
no
in there,
reversal of fortune either.
Oh my God!
You got to get it all down.
Yeah, I think it would be, you'd just load it with hot sauce and hope for the best.
Like I would probably. This is not an act like I am nauseous
no,
right
it's
now
really
immediately.
True. I love doing
immediately.
I think the strategic way to do it would be like in a wrap, because then you could like put it.
And then you bite it and it would squeeze out like a tooth.
You could do it in like 3 bites though. The bread would make you have to chew it. I think the wrap you could just almost swallow it.
Oh God.
Swallow it whole.
No, it would have to be like doused in hot sauce, huge spoon, and just.
Well, you have to have some sort. He said a sandwich, so you're gonna have to have some sort
what?
of bread.
He said a sandwich.
Yeah.
It says specifically a sandwich.
Sandwich, yeah.
It'd have to be on like a big, thick challah. Has a little sweetness to it, and I could try to just. What I would try to do.
Get the Hawaiian roll.
What I try to do then is fold over the bread so that I don't ever have to touch the egg salad. I'm basically making like capsules of it that I could down.
Capsules?
Where it's like inside the just
I
like
know
a
what
bread
a capsule
ball.
is.
Yeah, sure. I know you do. I'm
That's
like
funny. That's
I am
really good.
Sick.
I like the idea of a capsule of egg salad.
We'll end this week's mailbag on that note.
I feel like I need like a whole loaf of bread.
Yeah, you'd want a girthy bread. Is what you'd want, like a big, thick sourdough.
Yeah, it's
a lot of heat. Yeah, hope you could hide it. So much more to come. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Breaky wants to know where we stand on honey mustard. Fantastic. Great. Love it. I'm a big mustard guy.
I'm fine with it.
What's your number one condiment?
Hot sauce.
Yeah, probably me too.
If only people could have seen that's
Sad.
a merit.
Hate to
If
see
only
it.
people could have seen Zegura almost.
I dry heaved in the
here
break.
the studio here.
He did dry heave.
So
That's
gross.
not made up. No, that's real. That's the real.
I'm just
truth
telling you,
right
I
there.
love you all so much. I love this team so much. Like, I just don't even. I might not survive if I had to eat a hard-boiled egg for I might not survive.
You'd be fine.
I don't know.
Like, you're gonna throw it back up when you're done. You'll be fine.
I can understand it. I think
dude.
there's a lot.
You have
I
no
think when
clue.
you start to really think your way through a hard-boiled egg, it's understandable.
30 seconds.
The egg salad is far more doable. It's understandable. There's a lot to it. There's a lot going on there.
So bad. I don't get it. Listen,
I love the idea that somebody in like some little school when you were a little kid was like, eat this thing.
Force them.
Like you can't
throwing up for like weeks, and I finally was crying. I didn't want to go to school, and they're like, "Why?" And they're making me. And then
10
finally
seconds.
They stopped.
Throw me a cinnamon toast crunch. Can't throw me that. I'd crush
Rice
all that all you
Krispies
want.
treat. I'm a child.
Oatmeal.
Some gummy bears.
Gotta get out.
Work. Next level next.